Hello again. I'm guessing that regular viewers of this channel will know by now that I have no use for right-wing anti-Semites. They really are not my favourite people. However, there is all the difference in the world between disagreeing strongly with the views of somebody and wanting to see them sent to prison for holding or expressing these views. This is essentially what seems to be happening in this country, though, at the moment, and I find it very alarming. So should everybody, because although it's people who hold awful views about Jews and so on at the moment, this could easily change, and tomorrow it will be the turn of those who hold extreme left-wing views. As I'm sure that everybody knows, in some European countries it is illegal to disagree with the accepted narrative relating to the Holocaust, and those who do so are liable to end up in prison. This happened to British historian David Irving in Austria a few years ago. Now, while I think that those who deny the Holocaust took place are idiots, and I accept fully the mainstream narrative as it touches on this matter, that doesn't mean that I think it should be against the law to disagree with it. We often learn new things about history when people challenge what everybody believes to be true but isn't, and it's possible that this will happen with the Holocaust. Then too, there are those who believe that the Holocaust happened but think it was a good thing because they hate Jews. I do not have the words to express my loathing and dislike of such people. But again, I don't want them to be prevented from saying such things or sent to prison for doing so. The latest alleged right-wing terrorist to be sent to prison is a ghastly character called Alex Davies, who started a group called National Action, membership of which is now illegal. I give a link in the description to this video to a news item about his trial, and he may be seen in the thumbnail to this video. I have read all about this case and I followed the trial closely, but I am yet to see that he has actually done anything which I think should be illegal. This ties in with what I said about the Holocaust, of course, because Davies is a fanatical anti-Semite who thinks that the Holocaust was a good thing. Yes, I'm afraid there really are such people. Mention was made during the trial of his visiting Buchenwald, the former concentration lager, and while there he unfurled a National Action flag in the execution chamber and gave a Sieg Heil salute. He has also been associated with posters saying that Hitler was right. All this is, of course, appallingly tacky and makes him the kind of man that right-thinking people will shun. But should it form part of the evidence in a trial in Britain? I think not. What this fool gets up to in Germany is for the German people to object to, and if necessary for the German courts to prosecute. It certainly wasn't a crime in this country, which is why I was puzzled to see it being mentioned in court. That he is a neo-Nazi is indisputably true. He says so himself. Should that be against the law? Well, it isn't in this country against the law to be a neo-Nazi. Some of the people he knocked around with were collecting crossbows and knives, but he wasn't charged with that, and we have to be careful to avoid the guilt by association thing that was such a popular feature of the McCarthy era in the United States. There's mention too of a bomb-making manual, but this is just the anarchist cookbook which one can order from Amazon or indeed buy in bookshops. His views are certainly extreme. For instance, he admitted his aim was for the repatriation of black, Asian and minority ethnic and Jewish people from the UK, except those doing essential jobs. Asked in court if he was a neo-Nazi, Davies replied, "Sure." Well, I don't altogether agree with his views, but should it be criminal to hold such opinions? Probably not. With all the talk of right-wing terrorism, what have right-wing terrorists actually done in this country? Have they set off bombs and killed women and children on tube trains or at pop concerts? Gone on stabbing rampages through the streets of the capital? No. One MP was murdered by a man with right-wing anti-immigrant beliefs. Another man who disliked Muslims drove a van into a crowd outside of Finsbury Park Mosque. That, apart from a few assaults, is about the limit of right-wing terrorism in Britain. It's not a serious problem, nor is it likely to be in the future. I really don't like to see the right to express unpopular or unpleasant views limited by law simply to crack down on an alleged menace of this kind. If people wish to deny the Holocaust or even to celebrate it, I might well find it disgusting, but the risk to democracy of making it illegal is a real one, and in this case I think that the remedy would be worse than the disease. Just in case, by the way, anyone watching this film feels that I am soft on right-wing terrorism and secretly in sympathy with people like National Action and their camp followers, I might mention that one of the only serious right-wing attacks in Britain was that on the Finsbury Park Mosque in London in 2017. I have a slight connection with this mosque since I sponsor a child in Gaza via a charity connected with it. It's a long story. I've prayed there and I'm generally on good terms with the place. I could hardly be expected to feel well disposed towards someone who tried to massacre folk who worship there.